ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान गणः प्रत्यगर्तो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। Pranams everyone. So we are in the 16th chapter discussing about asura gunas primarily as given by Bhagavan. And here in the last class, in between Sloka 13, 14 and 15, Bhagavan explained as to how an asura describes himself, what are the words he uses, how he perceives himself, how he perceives his wealth, how he has an outlook on his enemies, and how he thinks about himself in his own words. And we saw that where he says that I shall attain this object, I have so much of wealth, there will be much more wealth for me, I have destroyed this rival, another rival also I will destroy, anyone who comes across as a rival. Aham Ishwaraha, I am the Ishwara. Aham Bhogi, I enjoy. And Aham Siddha, I am successful. And not only successful, he says, I am Balavan, I am powerful, I am Sukhi, I am happy. Although we do know that Bhagavan in his earlier Sloka itself mentioned that these people will not have any peace of mind. It may look to another person that they are happy, but internally they won't be happy. Then the 15th Sloka, Asmi Adyaha, I am rich. And then Dasyami, I shall give charity. Modishye, I shall rejoice. And these people say all these words, Bhagavan says, out of delusion. They are completely deluded by ignorance. So he says, Ajnana vimohitaha. Ajnanam means ignorance. Moham means delusion. Vimohita means complete delusion. So they are Ajnana vimohitaha. And that's how they speak. Now we'll go to the sloka number 16. Now from 16 till the end of chapter also, it's out and out on asura gunas only. So we'll learn more about asura gunas now. Shri Bhagavanu vacha aneka chitta vibhrantaha mohajala samavritaha prasakta kama bhogeshu patanti narakeshu chau aneka chitta vibhrantaha mohajala samavritaha prasakta kama bhogeshu patanti narakeshu chau. So here Bhagavan is basically giving how their mind works, what is their attitude, and in this section he is also going to tell us what their gati will be, what kind of end they will face. Aneka chitta vibhrantaha. Aneka means we know innumerable, many. Aneka chitta. Chitta means thoughts, or we can say here fancies. I have desires. We say fancies here because desires, when we have a desire, most of them are achievable, or if it is an unachievable desire, we call them as a fancy. So here it means fancies. Aneka chitta vibhrantaha. Again the same word. Vibhranta means here delusion, confusion, thoroughly confused, thoroughly deluded. So thoroughly confused by innumerable fancies. Aneka chitta vibhrantaha. thoroughly confused by innumerable thoughts, fancies, desires. Which means they are always in a different world. They don't want to come to reality. They always want to fly high. They always want to think something else, which is not feasible. And why they are, again Bhagavan reiterates this point again and again. He says, moha jala samavritaha. Samavritaha means encircled by. They are encircled by what? Moha jala. Again the word delusion, moha. Jala means net. They are encircled by the net of delusion. So thoroughly confused by all these innumerable fancies, encircled by the net of delusion. So they are always encircled by a net of delusion. There may be people who would always give them saying, you can do this, you will be able to achieve that. That kind of delusion they will always be. And therefore their fancies or their desires will also be unachievable or unrealistic. See, that net, why does Bhagavan use the word net? Some spider nets, normally we can actually clear them easily. If we put a pencil or something or a stick, it will actually fall off. But there are some forest spider nets which are so elastic, which are so strong that we cannot easily break them or cut them with force. So here Bhagavan says their delusion is so strong that it is not easy for anyone to make them see reason and the reality behind it and the truth. Their delusion is so strong. They will refuse to believe people who show them the reality or who tell them what the truth is. They want to be in their own version of truth and reality. That's why Bhagavan says, moha jala samavrataha. So they are confused. They are totally. They have innumerable thoughts, fancies. They are thoroughly deluded. They are confused, and they are encircled by this net of delusion. Next line. Prasakta kama bhogeshu. Prasaktaha. Prasaktaha means they are deeply engaged. They are, in other words, enslaved. They are enslaved. They are enslaved to what? Kama bhogeshu. Kama means enjoyment. Bhoga means enjoyment. Kama means basically sense objects. Kama means enjoyment. Bhogeshu means sense objects. So basically they are enjoying their enjoyment of sense objects. They are thoroughly enslaved to enjoyment of sense objects. They are enslaved to whatever they think as sensory pleasure. So they want to do whatever they like. I like to watch this, I want to watch this. I want to hear this, let me hear this. I want to go there, I will go there. I want to do this, I will do this. So this is an enslaving method. They are basically addicted, enslaved, deeply engaged. Bhagavan says prasaktaha. See, generally what we think as freedom we think is doing what I like. Doing what I like means I have freedom. But according to shastras, what is real freedom? Real freedom is doing what has to be done. What ought to be done, to do that is the real freedom. Because for us, what happens is when we start to do what needs to be done, what ought to be done, if we start doing that, we will always find some disturbances, some distraction, some interruption, some hindrances, something or other to stop us from doing what needs to be done. To overcome those disturbances, those hindrances, those distractions, not getting caught in those things, and to do what we need to do, that is considered to be real freedom. Doing what I like is easy. That is not considered to be freedom. Bhagavan says is these people do not have that freedom, and that's why he is using the word enslaved, prasaktaha. So they are enslaved to kama bhogeshu. If I am able to do whatever I enjoy, then that is not called as freedom. Freedom is about making sure I do things without any hindrances, without any disturbances, without any distractions, what needs to be done. So I don't get distracted, I don't get caught into that, I am able to overcome all those hindrances. And in Upanishad says basically what animals is to humans, humans are to devas. So if you have that animal colon human, human colon deva. In other words, basically what it means is humans are also a kind of enslaved animal only. So animals, for example, when animals are animals do not have any kind of, let's take a simple example, they cannot ask for any kind of leave. They don't have a public holiday leave. Today I will not do my work. Today I will not do my duty. Today is a weekly holiday for me. Today is a public holiday for me. Animals cannot ask for that. They have to get food on a daily basis. Every day they have to make their food. They have to get their food. Whereas for humans, we have these public holidays and others. But then what is the enslavement? So animals are kind of enslaved, but humans are enslaved to sense objects. So Bhagavan is saying, do not get enslaved by sensory pleasures. And he is not addressing all the asuras alone, he is addressing everybody. Do not get enslaved by sense pleasures. Because what happens when we are enslaved to sensory pleasures? In the next line, Bhagavan says, in the next fourth part of the same sloka, patanti narakeshu chau. Patanti means fall. They fall. Where do these people fall? Narake, hell. They fall into hell ultimately. If we are only focusing on enjoying sense pleasures, having only sensory enjoyment, then Bhagavan says you will definitely fall into heaven. That they will fall into heaven ultimately. So the question might come, so what? I am happy now. I enjoy my life here. I commit mistakes, but who cares? It is hell anyway in another world, not in this. We will see that also. At that point of time, let me face it. Let me have at least let me enjoy my life at least here. That could be a doubt in some people's mind. So Bhagavan is warning. Here he says it is not just hell, it is ashuchau. Ashuchau means foul. Here it means sorrowful. The hell you think, that is a sorrowful place. So you don't want to go there. That hell is not like this normal place where it is not like this world where I am going to get both pleasure as well as pain. I am going to get both joy as well as sorrow. I am going to get both good as well as bad. Hell is a place where you will only get sorrow, where you will only get pain. So he says, don't take that lightly. So they fall into sorrowful hell ultimately. That is what Bhagavan says. So, summarizing in this sloka, the asuras, they are confused by innumerable fancies because they are encircled by the net of delusion, and they are deeply engaged in the enjoyment of sense objects, and because of which they fall into a foul, sorrowful hell. This is the summary of this sloka. I will go to the next sloka, sloka number 17. आत्मसंभावितास्तब्धाः धनमानमदान्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भोनाविधिपूर्वकम् आत्मसंभावितास्तब्धाः धनमानमदान्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भोनाविधिपूर्वकम् दम्भेनाविधिपूर्वकम् atma-sambhavitaha. Atma-sambhavitaha means honored by themselves. Honored by themselves means boasting, self-praise. See, until this shloka, we might think asuras are who? Asuras are people who with horns in their head, with a kind of ugly teeth protruding from their mouth and all those things. But now, after hearing this shloka, we'll probably get to the reality, saying that we think most of us are asuras, because the quality he describes will fit most of us. Atma-sambhavitaha. Atma means self. Sambhavitaha means praise. Self-praise. We use that term, right? Sambhavana. When some prohits or priests come to our house, we give them Sambhavana. Sambhavana, we think it's giving them the money. Actually, it's honoring them. It's praising them. So that is called as Sambhavana. So Atma-sambhavana means self-praise. Generally, what happens when we actually listen to what others say or speak, when we are in a conversation with another person, we will be able to identify the moment they boast about themselves. The moment they talk about themselves, the moment they do self-praise of themselves, we will notice that. And we call these people as pretentious. We call them, oh, he's blowing his own trumpet. He's a dambam. He's got too much of dambam. We are able to identify that immediately when somebody does that. But the problem for us is we don't listen to what we speak. We are not aware. We don't notice that. If we sit, if we recollect what we have spoken, if we try to reflect what we have done, what we have spoken to others, and if we kind of contemplate and then say, did we really speak that? What we have been speaking, what are the words we have used? Then we will also realize that we are no better than others. We do this reflection, we do this analysis, we do kind of take their words, try to find the hidden meanings, try to find out what they are saying, why they are saying, all these things for others. Because even after 5 years, 10 years, we will say, oh, that day she said this particular word. This person spoke to me like that on that day. We will try to remember what they spoke, why they spoke, how they spoke, everything. But we will not remember what we did, how we did, why we did. And if we actually reflect on the words that we use, the words in our talk, we will notice two things. One, either we would have boasted on our achievements. It could be our achievements, I did that, I got this, or it could be even our values. I am of, I am of this, I have this value. I always believe in this. Or it could be our principles. I don't like people who do this. So we are very clear. We want to actually express our principles. We want the other person to know the values that we hold, the principles that we have, or we want the other person to know about our opinion on others. This person is like that. This person is nice. That person is not nice. So this thing is good. The food there is nice. If you want to buy jewelry, go there. If you want to get good food, go there. So we want to actually show off our opinion, our principle, our values, our achievements. Either we do that, or we do the other way around. We always show contempt. We have a dislike, we want hatred, criticism. We do it for others. We also say, I do not like this. Some people are very strong in their opinion with their likes and dislikes, and they want to make others know about their likes and dislikes. As if you can only be my friend if you know my likes and dislikes. So, and they take pride in their strong stance. And they want others to know about the stance. Oh, this person, she is like this. This person, he's like that. So this is what we do. If we actually reflect on what we speak, what words that we use, it will always be one of these two. This is also kind of atma-Sambhavana only. And the highest form of self-praise is what, when somebody says, I am not interested in self-praise. I don't boast. If they say that, then that will be the pinnacle of it. And that's what Bhagavan calls out here. The thing what we have to know is, there is a joy in self-praise. Everybody can feel joy when there is a praise coming their way. There is a joy in listening to others praising me. And this praise is intoxicating. It is very intoxicating. So much so, we would love to listen to that anytime, every time, wherever we are. In fact, if somebody praises me, I would probably spend more time with that person, because I can keep hearing their good words about me again and again. It's so intoxicating. And Bhagavan says this atma-Sambhavana is a asura guna. In Mahabharata, it is equated to murder. The self-praise is equated to murder, or kind of suicide, you can say. Is equal to suicide. What happened was, once Arjuna, apparently it's a small story. Arjuna has enormous amount of respect and love and thing for his Gandipa, his bow. And he had taken a vow that he would kill anyone who insults his Gandipa. And if he is not able to do that, kill that person, he will kill himself. So much was his attachment to Gandipa. Once happens, but apparently this is a story, so I don't know about the truth of it, but we can use it here. Once apparently Dharmaraja insulted that Gandipa. Now he had no choice. Yudhishthira had insulted Gandipa. He had to go by his vow. If he had to go by his vow, he had to either kill Yudhishthira or commit suicide. So he was saddened. Then Bhagavan, actually Krishna said to Arjuna, the equivalent of killing your brother, the equivalent of killing an elder is actually to be disrespectful to the elder. Shastra says, if you are disrespecting an elder, it is as good as killing them. And if you praise yourself, it is as good as committing suicide. So Bhagavan said, this is what Shastra says. So Arjuna basically disrespectfully called his brother. He disrespected his brother, thereby apparently the equivalent of killing him. And then he praised himself, which is the equivalent of committing suicide. Well, it's a small story, but what the thing is, what Shastra says is, if you disrespect elders, it is as good as killing them. And if you actually boast, it is as good as committing suicide. In fact, atma-stuti is actually forbidden in our Shastras. Atma-stuti is forbidden. Self-praise is forbidden in Shastras. If we pause, if we actually think, not just it is actually bad for oneself, imagine the kind of torture that the other person will have to go through when I am doing a self-praise. Not many people will say in front of us, in front of ourselves, directly to us that, you are boring me. But a lot of people would feel tormented listening to our atma-puranam, whatever we have to say about ourselves. In fact, it is a himsa. By actually telling other people, making them sit and making them listen to our atma-stuti, it is as good as doing some himsa to them. And some people have this, the slightest hint, they will also talk about the past. I did this in my younger age, I had this, I was able to do this, I was able to achieve this. Especially after retirement, there will be a lot of people who are talking about their past, what they had done, what they had achieved and others. Or they can use, their lineage. They will say, my grandfather was a Sanskrit scholar, my grandfather was a doctor, he was a lawyer, he was a big jamindar, he had so many people for him, or he was able to do so many things. But that is all his grandfather's praise. Where does you stand? This person may not have the same standing. But by using them, they want to leverage and improve their standing here. And the problem is, many of them, they do it without any awareness. Shastra says it is considered to be a low guna. Self-stuti, self-praise, atma-stuti is a tamo guna. So we should be aware of it. We should monitor what we speak, how we behave, how we treat others, what sort of thoughts come to our mind. So this awareness is very important. The first step towards spirituality is being aware. Bhagavan says in Sloka, in second chapter, he says, Atmavan Bhava. Be aware, constant state of awareness. What am I speaking? What am I eating? What am I saying? What am I doing? What is my mind thinking? This awareness is very important. That is called as antar, mukham. Turn inwards. We have to turn inwards. Only then we will be able to censor ourselves, we will be able to change ourselves. And spirituality is not about changing the world. It is not about changing anything around us. It is about changing ourselves. So, and to change ourselves, first we need to be honest to ourselves. And for us to be honest, even before we have to be honest, we have to know really where we stand. What is our current character? How do we actually stand in all those things? What does our mind think? What do we actually do? Why do we do certain things? So for that, awareness is very important. Atmavan Bhava, Bhagavan says in second chapter. Anyway, now atma-sambhavitaha, then stabdaha. Stabdaha means arrogant. These people are inflexible. Stubbornness. And some people take pride in that, being arrogance, or their, in being inflexible. I cannot have this. I need to have this. That kind of, statements to show how inflexible I am. and taking pride in that inflexibility is what is being called out stabdaha, not humble. And what kind of humility we are talking about? Physically, when we see elders, we have to be humble. Intellectually also, even after getting that knowledge, getting any kind of knowledge, we have to be humble. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, he says. That Vidya Garvam is very high. It can become a big problem. Not only, this Garva, one is, of course, it's a papa. Again, not being arrogant is a papa. It's also a negative quality. But from a spiritual standpoint, what happens is this Garva, this arrogance, actually poses a hindrance to jnana. If we want to know really who am I, then this Garva will stop me. Why? Because this Garva that I have is on my mind, is on my intellect, is on my body. I am beautiful, I am handsome, I am young, I am rich, I am powerful, I have a good, I do charity, or I have this knowledge. It is all at the body and the mind and the intellect level. So I limit myself, or I get attached to my body, I get attached to my mind, I identify my intellect. I always identify either with body or mind or intellect. And what this jnana is about? Jnana is about taking away my identification on all these three things. Only then I will be able to know who am I. So having this Garva will be a hindrance to jnana also. So, stabdaha. And this arrogance will not get us the right guru also. Or even if we get the right guru, we will not be able to do, or we will not be able to get the benefit out of the guru. We may not even identify the guru. Due to some punya of our previous life, we may be able to get a guru, identify a guru also. But actually to make use of the guru, if we have this Garva, we will not be able to do it. Because some people, they could be rich and they may be without any humility. So they may be rich, but intellectually, emotionally, they may be lacking. And when a knowledgeable person comes, when a guru comes, who could be their guru, they will not be able to get the knowledge, because their Garva will stop them from accepting the other person as a guru or doing seva. Bhagavan will say later in chapter 6, I think, Pariprashnena sevayaha. How can we get this knowledge? Only by doing seva. Seva to Guru only will be able to get this knowledge. So when we are not able to do that, when we are not able to accept that, be humble and get that knowledge, accept and actually do seva, then we will not be able to get that knowledge. These are kind of people. For example, they might say, this person, they might want to learn Upanishads, but they may not want to sit along with all other people, listen, take notes and all those things. So they may say, I will send you a car, why don't you come to my place and you can, teach me there individually. You can talk about Upanishads, and then I will send the car, I will send you back in the car. So that kind of attitude they will have. That kind of attitude will not get us any knowledge. So they won't have humility, they will be arrogant, they will be inflexible. Atma-sambhavitaha stabdaha. Bhagavan states more about these people. Dhana mana madanvitaha. Dhana, wealth. Mana, again this dambam and manam. It keeps repeating. If you see again and again, a lot of places dambam and manam is being repeated. Manam is basically having this self-importance ones, haughtiness, arrogance, or whatever, feeling that I am great, superiority complex. So dana means wealth. Mana means vanity, arrogance. Mada means haughtiness. It comes of disrespecting others. Basically that body language. And he says, Dana mana madanvitaha. This vanity, this arrogance, and this haughtiness is coming out of due to their wealth. Dana mana, full of vanity and haughtiness due to the wealth. For these asuras, they have this problem. In the next line he says, Yajante nama yajnaiste. Te yajante. Nama yajnaihi. We can say that. Te, we bring it first. Te means they. Te means they. Nama yajnaihi. Nama yajnaihi means nominal yajnas. Nominal yajnas meaning it is not a proper yajna. They want to do some puja, they want to do some yajna, but they don't want to do it properly. In Hindi they say naam ke vaste. For the sake of doing things, they will have. For the sake of having a puja, they will have a puja. Oh, I have to do it, so let me do it in some way. This is for namesake. So they do this nama yajnahi. And why? How do they do that? How do they worship? Dambena. They do it pretentiously. Dambe yajante. Dambe yajante. Dambe yajante means they worship pretentious. Pretentiously they worship. Show off. Some people, they when they want to conduct a puja, it could be Navaratri, it could be any of these. What is that other one? Anyway, any puja, for example, at home. Some people have this puja to show off. I have to show off my puja altar, how it is, so that people can come and see, oh, you have got this photo. Oh, that is from Tanjavur painting, gold plated. Okay. So showing off. Or I have got everything in silver. All silver set. I have to show off. Or I want to show off my dresses. On that day, I want to show off my jewelry, show off my dresses. I want to keep the artifacts at my house so that people, when they come in, they are able to see, oh, you've gone. And they have artifacts to say, I went to this place, these are the artifacts from my home. Or they want to show off the spread of food that they can provide. Or got the helper to make the food, distribute them, or give them gifts. It is not about the puja itself. It is not about any kind of the puja itself. It is more to show off. Whether it is Navaratri or it is Nombu, all those kind of things. It is all for showing off. So they pretentiously worship. And to nominal yajnas, the yajna itself, the puja itself will be a minimum one. They wouldn't have done anything elaborately, properly. There would have been no achara, there would not have been any kind of timings, they would not have done it properly, but naam ke vaste, nominal yajnas. Whatever suits them. The timing according to what suits them, the naivedyam according to what suits them, the dressing according to what suits them, all these things. And what about shastras? What about kramas? Did they actually follow the krama in which the puja has to be done? it does not matter for them. Bhagavan says this: Avidhi purvakam, dambena avidhi purvakam, dambena avidhi purvakam. Avidhi purvakam means disregarding the scriptural rules. Every puja, in any puja, any kind of yajna, there are vidhis. Vidhi means do's and don'ts. This is how it has to be done. Bhagavan says avidhi purvakam. What are the things to note in terms of scriptural rules? First and foremost, for any puja, there has to be shraddha. Here they will not have any shraddha. So, even if they get, say, a Veda Parayanam at home or some chanting at home, they get the priest, Purohits or the Shastricals to come home. The Shastricals will be chanting somewhere. These people will be in a, drinking coffee, entertaining guests, all those things, as if it is another event there, and it has nothing to concern them. And they will be dressed in whatever, sharwani, pajama, jibba, whatever, or trousers, whatever, something that they are comfortable with. No shraddha. Then the second thing, the time. As I said, the time, whenever it is convenient, whatever is convenient. So, for example, Diwali was about waking up early and having this shower before the sun rises. But so what if I wake up late? I can only wake up later, and I will have a bath, do it at the time that is convenient for me. I am also celebrating Diwali. So they will not follow the time. Then mantras. They will not give importance to mantras. There would be mantras that the priests will chant, and then there has to be repeated by you. These people will not chant back. Or sometimes, you get along, they will tell the priest, you finish it, I will just listen to it. Or they may even say to the priest, you finished off quickly because we have another appointment. Maybe in the case of wedding, they will say, you finish this off quickly, this is it is not needed for me, I am more interested in Sangeet, there is Antakshari, there is all those things that I have to do. So this has to be quickened, fastened. I cannot delay that program. So they don't follow the mantras properly. They will not, if the mantras is to be elaborately chanted, they will ask for shortcuts. Dravyam. They will not give importance to the right dravyam to be used. What are the puja materials, the naivedyam, the right naivedyam, the right puja materials have to be used. They don't give importance to that. Then ritviks. Ritviks, certain rituals require certain qualified people to do it. Only certain qualified people can do some yajnas or some puja. Even if it's a Satyanarayana puja or any kind of puja, you need people who can do this puja. But they don't bother. There has to be someone. I'll try the nearby temple, whoever can do it. Or I will find a Purohit who would be cheaper, who would be, adjusting to my conditions, agree to my conditions. I will say that this is what the time I can come, or you should come, this is the dravyam I can do, and you should be chanting everything. I will give those conditions. Whoever comes for that, I will use that person. So they don't give the importance or get the right ritviks for this one. Finally, Vidhi also, the Shastras also talks about Dakshina. Actually, Shastra says your Dakshina should be on the basis of what you can afford, not on what the ritual requires. Here, some people, they will not compromise on the jewelry. Say Upanayanam or a wedding. They will not compromise on their jewelry, the clothing, the decorations, the food, all those things. They will try to make the best out of everything. But when it comes to the Dakshina for the Prohits, they will bargain. Say, you are too expensive. Let me actually, why can't you do it for this? Or why don't you cut a couple of people? Why don't you bring only 2? Why do you need 5 people? They try to bargain with Prohits. In any ritual, in any function, the Prohit should feel happy while they return back. Only then the wishes will bless the family. Otherwise, that curse only will haunt the family. So these are all avidhi purvakam. So here what they say is, these people, they pretentiously worship through nominal yajnas, disregarding the scriptural rules. Yajante nama yajna iste. Naam ke vaste, that is all. Nama yajna iste. Dambena avidhi purvakam. Pretentiously, without any scriptural rules, disregarding the scriptural rules. This is what Sloka 17. Now we'll go to Sloka 18. Ahankaram balam dharpam kamam krodam cha samsritaha mamatma paradeheshu pradvishantobhyasuyakaha. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam cha samsritaha mamatma paradeheshu pradvishantobhyasuyakaha. Bhagavan is again reiterating some points here. Whatever he has discussed earlier, he is reiterating some points. You will see already kamam, krodam, balam, darpam, all those things. Ahankaram, same thing. Ahankaram. See, generally when we discuss ahankara, when we discuss in introduction to Vedanta or any other place, we say ahankara is the identification with the false body-mind complex. But here ahankara means ego, that considering that other things to be me, my knowledge, my money, my possessions, my family, my house, my car, that emphasis on my. I am so special. That feeling that I am special. I should be treated differently. I am different from others. That feeling is what Bhagavan says. Ahankara. One rule for others, one rule for me. Why? Because I am special. I am different. I like only these things. I don't like these things. So you have to treat me differently. I am of this nature. So you have to treat me differently. That feeling, ahamkar. Balam, power. It could be financial power, it could be people power, it could be position power. I have this power. I have people around me. There are people who can do things for me. I have actually money. I can do whatever I want. I have this high position in my office. That kind of thing. Then darpam. Darpam is arrogance. Garva. Again here it is about humiliating others. Disrespectful towards others. Disrespectful behavior. Kamam. Desire. We have seen this again lot of time. Krodam, anger. We know, we have discussed this long. Cha samsritaha. Cha means and. Samsritaha. Cha and, or we can say etc. Here it is say etc. And so on. So what are the fault? They are given to samsrita means given to. They have these qualities. What qualities? Ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodam, cha, and so on. They are having all these qualities. Then what else they do? Mamatmaparadeheshu. But before that, we'll go to the last word. Abhyasuyakaha. The last word in the sloka is Abhyasuyakaha. Abhyasuyakaha means they find fault in good people. They are slanderers. They criticize others. They degrade others. They cannot accept someone being called nice or good. The moment they see somebody, some people have this, what is a quality of a sattvika person? One of the qualities of a sattvika person is, the moment you say a person's name to this person, the sattvika person will remember the good quality of that person first. But there are people, the moment you give them any name, they will first remember, or they will first only recollect their bad quality or what they don't like, or they want to tell them that other person that he is not a nice person, he is not a good person. They cannot accept anyone being called nice or good. They will not like any sat people. They will not like sat vishaya. So they are slanderers. So if someone we say, oh, he has given some donation. Oh, he's doing it because he wants some fame. Oh, he is helping another person. Oh, he wants to gain something from him the other next time. That's why he is doing. He wants something in back. Oh, he is attending Gita class. Oh, he is there because he is killing time. He doesn't have any work. That's why he is going to do this. He has nothing better to do. Or he goes there because he wants to do it for style. This is a fashion these days. So he is going. So anything good about any other person will not be accepted by this person. They will always find fault in another person. The other person also may not be 100% sincere, but this person, even without knowing that other person, they will first slander, even as if they know that the other person, or they will try to say, these people go only for this. Suppose if they don't know the other person well, so they will not say he or she. They will use this word. These people do like that only. These kind of people. So they actually group them. These kind of people are only like that. And what they do, they will always create this doubt about other people, about this person in other people's mind. Abhyasuyakaha. They find fault in any. They find fault in anything and everything around them. Shastra says, praise the other person. Atma-stuti is banned. Praising others is encouraged. In fact, Shastra says praising others is a difficult habit. Shastra says that it is difficult to praise someone. It does not come easily. So here, what we have to do is, at least if you don't praise others, forget it. At least don't find fault with others. So these people, if he he's nicely talking, no? If he say, oh, he talks nicely, oh, he's a chatter. When the person doesn't talk, he's arrogant. He keeps everything in his mind. These people cannot be relied upon. They don't want to discuss. If he talks normally, nominally, he always measures and talks. He doesn't give out much. Whatever be this case, these people will have always some fault, some issue. Generally, for us, it is important for us to know if there is an issue. We have to be aware of it. We have to know how it is. That much of knowledge and intellect is needed. We need. We should be able to judge. We should have this faculty of judging. We also need to have a judgment faculty which is needed, whether this is a good place, whether that is person is a nice person, whether this is a good opportunity or not an opportunity. That judgment call is needed. But that is not to actually say and influence others. It is for you to remember and know, and so that you can apply in your life. And it is not about finding fault or problem even in normal situations. They say, okay, the person keeps talking for a few days. Oh, this person keeps talking to me too many times. I don't want to, because this person will ask me something later on. That's why he keeps talking to me. I don't want to encourage that person. So that kind of a feeling that even for a normal conversation, you try to find fault. They will imagine a problem where there could be none. Because only if they find fault, they will be happy. I have done my job. It shows, it's a kind of feeling that I am a better judger of things. I have a judgment on everything, and my judgment doesn't go wrong. Although it might go wrong 90% of the time, the 10% of the time when it has come right, it will help them to build their confidence again and again, and they will continue to do that. That 90% where it has gone wrong, they will not reflect on it. So, abhyasuyakaha. Next, Bhagavan says, Mamatma paradeheshu. We will finish this sloka. Mamatma paradeheshu pradvishantaha. Pradvishantaha. Pradvishantaha means hate. They hate. And Bhagavan says, whom they hate? Pradvishantaha mam. First word, mam. Bhagavan says, these people even hate me. These people don't even like me. Forget about others, they even hate me. And Bhagavan says, who am I? Actually, who am I? Atma-paradeheshu. He says, I am the one who is residing in body of themselves and others. I am there in their body. I am there in others' body as well. And yet, they hate me. Atma-paradeheshu. Atma means self. Paraha means others. Deheshu. I am in their self body, their body as well as others' body. Deheshu means body. I am in the body of their self and in others. These slanderers, abhyasuyakaha, pradvishantaha mam, they hate me. Who? Me, who is residing in the body of them as well as in others. I am in all jivarasis, and yet they hate me. Why does Bhagavan says, hate me? Does really Bhagavan worry about you? Why are you hating me? You should love me. No. Here hate means, Bhagavan, what he means is, they do not follow Bhagavan's upadesha or teachings. That is what he means by hate me. Generally speaking, what happens? If we love somebody, we will do whatever they ask for. If we hate someone, we will not do what they want. Whatever they ask, we will not do that. So if I am not following somebody's words or teachings, I don't like that person. Because if I like that person well, I will follow that whatever they say. So Bhagavan says, get good gunas, follow dharma. These people will not follow dharma. These people will not get good gunas. So that is an expression of hate towards Bhagavan. Basically, when they say, Bhagavan says, pradvishantaha mam, he says, they do not follow dharma shastras. It's not that Bhagavan also has this feeling that everybody should love me. That is not what it means here. They do not follow dharma shastras. So given to egoism, given to power, given to arrogance, given to desire, given to anger, and so on, these slanderers, abhyasuyakaha, they hate me. Bhagavan says they hate me. who is in the body of themselves and others. This is Sloka number 18. So here again we had seen so much about Asura Guna. There are a lot of things that we ourselves will be having them. We will have to see how we can overcome this. Now in Sloka 19 and 20, next two Slokas, Bhagavan is going to say what is the treatment, what does these haters who do not follow this dharma, what do they get at the end? Bhagavan will describe that in Sloka number 19 and 20. We will see in the next class. Any questions or comments? Okay, we'll close it. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha. Gobrahmanebhyo Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.